really liked her in
So, are you going to be watching V for Vendetta
Leon
on November the 5th?
or The Professional, whichever one you want to call it.
I never saw that one. I saw Annihilation, and it was good writing that saved her acting.
Well, she was like 12.
Oh,
And she was playing just like a streetwise girl.
I really
But one of the funny things
So are
is
you
she
gonna?
does she does an impersonation. At like one point they're doing it's like a collage of skits, but she does an impersonation, but it's not an accurate impersonation. She does the impression of Mike Myers' character from Wayne's World doing his impression of Marilyn Monroe. So it's a caricature of a caricature.
And by the way, we're live.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we knew.
Thanks for the warning.
You're welcome.
But yeah, so it's
I got a tax stamp approved on the 28th. I called in and found out.
did you tell Josh today? Because he called for that same reason today.
Yeah, that's what prompted him to call.
Welcome. We are live. Thanks for the warning. I am your host, Jay Fry, and this is the apparently the Brexit of shows tonight, honoring Guy Fawkes a day early since we can't get any closer than this. With me is Garrick. How's it going, Garrick?
Oh, pretty good. How about yourself?
Not bad, not bad. And saving the best for last, Sean, what's up?
Not best for last.
Hey.
We're not going to introduce Josh at all? Who's not
Fucker
here?
shows up.
Yeah, things are going. It's another Monday. Hurrah, hooray.
It is another Monday. And that's the best it can be described. Whole hell of a lot didn't happen over the week, so we'll basically be covering the same shit everyone else who's covered on the week prior. Anybody have anything they want to start off with, or we could jump right into?
And I know he doesn't listen to our stuff, but if he ever does get around to it, I'm really kind of confused as to why Matt is refusing to talk about Ukraine, the Ukraine, not the Ukraine, but the Ukraine gate thing.
Because it's Russiagate 2.0. It's stupid.
Right, but the thing about it is, it's actually better because Joe Biden is 100% guilty of everything they're accusing Trump of, like demonstrably.
Well,
Okay,
so was
identical.
Obama with Russiagate. He's literally on a hot mic saying, "I have more wiggle room after the election. Tell Vladimir I can work with him then."
Right. But that's kind of the opposite of election interference, because he's basically saying, tell Vladimir to wait until after the election. Don't interfere, don't mess with anything until after the election, and I'll have more flexibility. So that's kind of the opposite, whereas Joe Biden is on record of saying, yeah, if you don't fire that guy, you don't get $1 billion. I can't think of a bigger quid pro quo.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So, I mean, why not attack it from that angle? Because that's the angle that the mainstream media refuses to even touch, even though it's front and center of all of this, outside of the fact that, but we want to get Trump with it instead.
Apparently, he's just not willing to do the work of the research, because he's always been hesitant to get into any sort of politics overseas. Like literally, Brexit's been going on since the start of his show, and he really doesn't opine too much on it, besides for what's being talked about at the time. But I wouldn't either if I had a large fan base as he did in the UK. Like, I got one guy who would go, "Nope, you're wrong." That's it. like what? No, that's not what it's. Hey, Face, how's it going? But sorry to hear about Brexit. I hope Boris Johnson doesn't die in a ditch.
I just think they need to rise up at this point, because there's no more egregious denial of democracy that has happened in our modern era than that. Just flatly refusing to follow the will of the people over after a popular vote.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least when we elected Trump to their chagrin, they still let him become president.
So are we not covering impeachment proceedings today?
Well, I mean, do you think it's going? Do you think it's going anywhere? I mean, obviously they'll get the vote in the House because there's just that many more Democrats, and they're going to lose seats in the 2020 election no matter what. So the only thing they will have accomplished in the 2 years that they had the majority will be the impeachment, even though it's on the most ridiculous of terms. But
Yeah.
it's literally a ploy for the election, so they can literally go out there and campaign. Do you really want to vote for somebody who's already been impeached? That's literally going to be their campaign slogan.
That's all they got. But yeah, I appreciated, at least on the Beauty and the Beta show, where it was shown like, oh, you're going to claim that no one ran on impeaching Trump, but here we have this evidence.
Yeah, Maxine Waters has been saying it since before he got sworn in.
Mm-hmm. Rashida Tlaib's been calling her kid a motherfucker for like 2 years now, saying we're going to impeach him.
Yep.
Well, isn't that what half the
weird one.
Democrats were running for this past election season?
They wanted to get in so they could make the vote, but that wasn't their platform. Maxine Waters' platform was literally basic impeach the motherfucker at gasoline stations.
Yeah, that bitch needs to go. I wish I lived. Well, I don't wish I lived in the district because the district is a bunch of shit. But
Well, she doesn't live in the district either. She lives in Beverly Hills.
Right. But the guy who's running against her, Omar Navarro, I think his last name is. I just know his first name's Omar
Navarro.
I'd vote for him in a heartbeat. And I probably don't even agree with him on much, but I'd vote for him in a heartbeat just because Maxine is just the worst.
Damn,
Steven points out. Yeah, watermelon is plebeian food. She doesn't eat watermelon.
That's racist.
She'd turn up her nose at chitlins too.
At least she'll
You really think she'd turn away from fried chicken?
No, everybody loves fried chicken, dude.
Yeah,
Speaking of which, I had the Popeyes sandwich today.
Oh, I was just going to reference the Popeye sandwich.
That place was a madhouse.
Popeye sandwich.
Popeye sandwich is pretty good. Not gonna lie.
What is it?
It's a chicken sandwich.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's brined in pickle and then fried.
I don't know. Chick-fil-A is pretty damn good. And
Chick-fil-A is damn good.
they have my vice, which is the frosted lemonade.
Do you guys remember Chase and his chicken biscuit?
No, but I love chicken biscuits. They're good.
There's a kid, because he was still in school, who made a bet with a substitute teacher that was staying because she was replacing a pregnant teacher who was on maternity leave, and he bet her a chicken biscuit, and he was trying to collect on it for like 6 months. Last year on Beauty and the Beta. He kept showing up to the Friend Simulator to give updates on it.
Okay, I must have missed that one. I haven't really messed with the Friend Simulator in like a couple of months.
Well, this was months and months ago. Like this was last year, at least. Anyway, I have been absolutely loving the resurgence of Epstein memes.
Epstein didn't kill himself. Okay, continue.
I really enjoyed, and I had no idea it was coming. The guy who was on Fox News or whatever it was, the dog expert.
The Waters World. Yeah,
that was just quintessential awesome right there. Say that on cable TV, just blast it out there.
Hell yeah! Props to that man, whoever he is.
Yeah.
Oh, it says only OG B&Bs remember Chase. Yeah. He came back and he was posting fan art, He was the one doing the magazine covers for a while, and those were pretty good.
Mm.
If Face doesn't remember the Chicken Biscuit, he'll at least remember the comic book cover fan art. Oh, Steven remembers Chase from the fan art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was kind of upsetting that blonde Normat knew who Michael Baden was. Michael Baden was there for the OJ trials. He was brought in for Michael Jackson. He was all the way back. He did Natalie Wood's autopsy when she fell off the boat.
Mm.
So he's
I
been.
still haven't finished listening to the show, so don't spoil it.
Which show?
Last night's show. I watched some of it live, and then I fell asleep. So I started listening to it on the podcast this morning. And
So you not read the news? That's what's being covered here.
Not really. I mean, I get fucking burnt out trying to keep up on what's current, you know?
All right. Well, yeah, I felt the same way about the Bible, but then, Christmas happened and it ruined it for me. Like, you spoiled the ending. I was still reading the book.
Yeah. Okay, you want to talk about the culling of the herd?
Sure. And then while you're at it, clue me in on what the fuck you're talking about.
Beto O'Rourke and Kamala Harris dropping out.
Kamala dropped out?
Pretty sure.
I didn't hear that
Let me
one.
double check. Let me double check. I thought for sure somebody said she did.
Last thing I remember, she was still saying she was a contender because she had 16% of the vote. Or she was in 16 for the polls, but she hasn't recovered since Gabby Gifford nailed her to the fucking wall. And that's something I will harp on for all time. Obama is black, but he is not an American black. And the same thing.
Oh my God. She dropped out and then rejoined. What the hell?
What? That's not how you restart. But I did. Blonde yesterday said she fucked her.
Oh, never mind.
And I really enjoyed that.
That's not what that is. What's the HBCU event?
Oh, that's just one of the debates.
Oh,
okay. We're up against Mikey, aren't we? That's why Wolfie's not here.
Are we up against Mikey?
I think we're up against Mikey. I think we're up against not only Mikey but the happening thing.
That son of a bitch.
Those two. Yeah. He's on their podcast, so that's why Wolfie's not here, and that's why our numbers suck.
That's why.
Fuckers.
These numbers are equally as bad as last week when the that other thing was happening, and the week before.
I don't even know if I'm subscribed to Mikey. Let's see. Yep.
1 in 4 homeless people are women. Homelessness is a woman's issue.
I was bored earlier, and I ended up watching one of the Adams Ruins Everything, and his statistics are just awful. Like between 24 and 40% of people who come into this country illegally fly. I'm like, yeah, what about the 60% minimum that don't? That'll fix a border wall. Fix that shit. Assholes. What would happen if I snuck into Mexico and I got caught at the border sneaking back? Are they not going to let me go back? Like how does that work?
What do you mean?
Like if I snuck in and I was trying to sneak back and they caught me trying to enter back into America.
Why would you sneak back? You could just come back.
Well, why would I sneak in? I could just come in or out. It's the same thing with everybody. Like, we have a connection with Mexico, and it's a cross connection. They can come into America anytime they want, and we can go into Mexico anytime we want. It's only just been in the last couple of years that there's now a more advanced licensing requirement. I've never been rejected to get into Canada, or vice versa, or the same thing with Mexico.
I did get stopped at the Canadian border by the Canadians, and they were like, "Well, why are you coming in?" I'm like, "I want to go see Montreal," and they're like, "I don't know if that's a legit enough reason." I'm like, "The fuck are you talking about? Let me in."
Huh. I went to pick up my brother once, and I ended up having a couple of pounds of black powder in the trunk. They never even stopped or nothing. I didn't realize that's what was in the box. I was just helping my grandpa move stuff, but when I got back, and he was really worried. Like, oh, I didn't realize I smuggled a bomb into Canada.
Yeah, but what's in Canada that's worth blowing up?
A maple tree.
Justin Trudeau.
It's just going to make everything sticky.
That was this was 20 years ago. There was no Justin Trudeau.
Okay.
He was still a drip in Castro's jeans at that point in time.
Not 20 years ago.
Yeah, well, I'm not that old, but still. I read this article about being kicked out of Buffalo Wild Wings for being black, which
that's not a thing that happens.
Yeah, well, they weren't even kicked out. There was this woman saw a table eyeing her, and she was asked to move under racist conditions. Yeah, well, it turns out the table that was eyeing you was waiting for their 18 other people to get there, and they were eyeing you because you sat at a table that was reserved for them. Anyway, both the managers got fired for asking their race or some shit. Like, how do you ask somebody's race? Like, I don't. But yeah, the whole thing seemed to be bullshit to me. So I skimmed the article and just bitched about it. They ended up going to Hooters instead, where they weren't treated to such indignations in 2019. It's like, oh, I don't care.
So did Caitlin Bennett get attacked by Antifa?
Did she shoot him? She probably had a 308 on her at the time.
Possibly, but I don't see it.
They might have attacked her thinking her hair was ramen.
I will share.
They could have just been hungry.
She's going to hit 30 and have nothing going on.
Oh, man,
well, no, that's that other chick, that Kristen girl. Caitlin's not really, like, it's not because she's hot or anything like that. Because she's not.
Sweet, my wife just gave me a chili dog.
Hell yeah. Shame that you're on a stream right now, or else you could eat it.
I know. So which one's Caitlin Bennett?
She was the one who
posted. I'm thinking of, yeah, with the ramen Rapunzel hair and strolling around with a 308, right? Is it 308 or she just have she's got an AR-10, right? She was carrying around campus.
AR-10s are 308s.
That's what I'm saying. She was carrying around the AR-10 around campus, and that's what her claim to fame was.
Yeah, but it's not. There was like this Brianna Spencer girl who is attractive. I didn't really think of Caitlin Bennett as attractive, so I didn't really think of her being in her 30s had anything to do with anything. I'm sure Steven will chime in on his
So I'm telling you, this Caitlin Bennett chick, she's going to hit 30 and have nothing going on for her. She's going to hit 25 and have nothing going on for her. Because she's literally only cute in the traditional sense because she's young. When she matures, she's going to look like a hag.
She's working for InfoWars.
And?
So she's Millie Weaver. That's not helping her.
The super male vitality isn't going to help.
They have super female vitality. Thank you very much.
Do they? Do they really, Josh? No. God damn it, Jay.
Yeah, it's Jason, and yes, they do have super female vitality.
Okay, Steven, you're right. The other ramen-haired bitch is Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and Caitlin Bennett is way better looking than Wasserman Schultz. But she's going to end up looking the same at the same age, most likely.
Oh,
because she sort of looks like Kirstie Alley already, which is not a good thing.
Kirstie Alley was hot.
Yeah, sure.
Circa early years.
All right, guys, BRB. I'm gonna fix a drink.
All right.
I guess we'll have to carry the show.
How will we ever maintain this level of? Did you guys hear about Jared Padalecki getting a DUI? Getting a DUI?
No, I don't know who that is either.
He's a long-time star of Supernatural.
Oh, okay. So, all right.
Okay, well, since Beto's dropping out, do your favorite take of Beto.
My favorite is the Babylon Bee article where a man who has no chance of becoming president says when he becomes president, he'll take your guns.
Yo, take your guns.
No, it wasn't a DUI. He got into a bar fight. That's what it was. But he was at a Supernatural convention in D.C. and he ended up getting into a fight.
I'm disappointed that the press never picked on the fact that he is the living embodiment of Butthead from Beavis and Butthead.
Okay, we're gonna take your gun. It's gonna be cool.
Cool. Guns suck.
Right suck. They wouldn't have done it to him. You know, they couldn't allow that to happen. So they got like 220 votes for the impeachment, and 2 Democrats didn't vote for impeachment. No Republicans voted for the impeachment, and fucking Justin Amash did. Piece of shit.
Who's Justin Amash?
Yeah, he was one of those. Damn it, what were they called? It was after the Tea Party, but there was a group of Republicans who were like the new Republicans. I cannot think of the name of them. He was one of them.
And he voted for impeachment?
He voted for impeachment.
What's his district? Which district is he in?
Oh, he's in Michigan, sadly. So we got Amash and Talib, both just hurting my home state. Making it look stupid.
Well,
Michigan doesn't need to help.
It is stupid. Just admit it.
Shut up.
That's why you don't live there anymore.
I would straight up give your address out if it wasn't a P.O. box.
Fucker. It's not a P.O. box.
That's not what he said.
But I did notice that on the vote tally there was 8 people that did not vote at all. Were they just not present, or do we know who they were?
Well, what's her fuck? The Hill who resigned. She voted for it.
Because of course she did on the way out the door.
Yeah, exactly. Was it Kristen Hill? Katie Hill. Katie.
The thing that pisses me off about her is I didn't really give a fuck about what she was doing, other than the fact that Matt's right. It does absolutely violate house rules. I really didn't care. I don't care about the nudes. I don't care about any of that. She's resigning because she broke rules. Now she's trying to make it that she's the victim. I'm like, no, you're a predatory bitch who cheated on her husband at the time and then is now blaming him. Now, he may be a complete piece of shit. I don't know. But what I do know is that she's a complete piece of shit.
Well, someone posted to willyouffuckmywife.com or whatever the fuck it was on Reddit. So someone there is a piece of shit. And I don't care who.
Yeah, they're probably both pieces of shit. Either way, the one thing I do know is that Katie Hill, the one who resigned, is a gigantic throbbing piece of shit. And good riddance.
I agree with that.
Christy was hot in Village of the Damned. I don't remember Village of the Damned with her, Christy Alley. Yeah, pieces of shit all around. Everyone gets it. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's just nature taking its course as far as I'm concerned. Shouldn't have been there in the first place. Fucked up when she was. Big shock. Bye-bye. Who cares?
Thing that bothered me is she was hard on... Like, she went after Kavanaugh. She went after Bill Cosby. She went after Brett Ratner. She went after Harvey Weinstein and said the sexual predatory acts would not happen if more women were in charge. And she herself was a sexual predator.
Because Democrats always accuse those others of what they are themselves doing.
Exactly.
Always.
It's now a rule. It's no longer a guess.
Mm-hmm.
Literally no one here is in Georgia. Poets in Michigan, Stevens in Texas, Garrick's in Louisiana, Sean's in P.O. Box.
Are you back in Louisiana or are you still in Texas?
No, I'm in the swamp.
Okay.
When did you move to D.C.? Thank you.
There's not enough bullets. Well, I don't own enough bullets to clear out that swamp.
Yes.
You sure you should have another one?
It means I need to stock up.
Yes.
Yeah.
One more.
Didn't they allow transgender? Speaking of trannies, what did happen, Missouri?
What did I miss?
The tranny who flashed the kids and subsequently halted.
I'm just sick of these articles. They're like, oh no, he didn't really flash him. It was completely just a mistake. What was a mistake? Him flashing them. So he did flash them. Well, no, he didn't flash them. It was a mistake. But he showed the kids his genitals. Well, yeah, but he didn't mean to, so it's really not an issue. I'm like, did the kids see the genitals? Well, yeah. But it's not an issue that kids saw genitals. No, because he didn't mean to. It was just an accident.
My brothers both nearly got put on the sexual predator list for peeing in public. But because of during their trials for peeing outside, the law changed so that it wasn't public masturbation; it was just indecent exposure. But dude, you had your dick in your hand. Now you went behind a porta potty and pissed on a wall, and no one saw you but the cops. You still would have gotten, you would have been put on a registry and been a sex pervert, basically for that. And no one saw that, let alone the kids you did expose yourself to. Because of course you forget your underwear while you're absolutely dealing with a bunch of children sitting in front of your crotch.
Yeah, I mean, it's just... I think any parent that takes their child to that is guilty of child abuse. Let me just lay that out there right away. You know full well what it is, and even if you agree with it, it has no business affecting your children, and you are wrong for exposing your children to it. Period. Mm-hmm. There's no ambiguity with me at all. You're fucking shit people if you take your child to that. The child doesn't know any different. The child's just going to make the best of it. But you as a parent are a shit person for exposing your children to that. Same as the people that are doing it are absolutely deplorable shit people because they're doing it. And they're doing it because they want to expose children to sexuality at a very early age, and it's inappropriate. Everything about the entire event is wrong. So when you get somebody that shows his wang to the 5-year-olds that are present, A, I'm not shocked. B, everybody involved should go to jail. Everybody.
Well, I'm pretty sure seeing events like this is what creates people like Ted Bundy.
No,
No, you don't think?
well, especially not Ted Bundy. Like maybe more like John Wayne Gacy, maybe. Because there's a lot of makeup involved. But no, this is when I started doing magic, literally 25 years ago. I was 14, and there were already rules in place about not bringing children onto your lap, and that's something that was told to me at 14 years old. So I'm literally maybe, because this is magic, a decade older than these kids. You can't do a card trick for a 3-year-old. They are not going to give a fuck. and literally a 5-year-old might have trouble recognizing most cards that are given to them. So really, you're talking about like a 5-year difference. I'm 14, 8, 9, 10 years old would really understand close-up magic, not like making a girl disappear and reappearing somewhere else. That's stage magic, in which you really don't interact with an audience to begin with. But like aside from taking like an object and making it disappear and reappear, but actual like cards that you have to be able to read to understand the trick. Because otherwise, you can just take any card you want, show it to a kid, and then claim that that's the card. They're like, "You are so good, mister." Like, yeah, because you don't recognize what a 4 of clubs is. But this was, I was learning to make balloon animals because why not? I was there. It was happening. But you don't bring up kids and sit them on your lap for this very reason of contact amongst strangers. But there was a story a couple months back about a sexual predator that was found to be in Houston, and kids were climbing on top of him at a library, not even a birthday party where it's much more wild. This was a library where shit's supposed to be much more quiet and closed down. And as a clown, you don't sit in a dress anyway. And it's a bag of bullshit. We're taught about not letting things get creepy, and there are actually rules against some kinds of magic that you do. Like there's a trick called ring flight, in which you make someone's wedding ring disappear and appear way the fuck over somewhere else. That magic trick was deemed too risky because one time somebody said, "That's not my ring." Like that was my ring was a $4,000 blah blah blah. That's that's not my ring. You stole my ring. Now I don't know if the situation was actually a stolen ring or not, but yeah, people stopped doing that trick just because of that. So yeah, we outlawed touching children decades ago, let alone letting them climb on a man dressed as a woman for funsies this year. The only thing I have issue with is Matt said, when you reach down for a book, aren't you looking at the book? No, not necessarily, especially if you're telling a story.
Right, and it looked like he was dropping the book anyway.
Yeah. But dropping or picking up the book, you do not need to look at the book to do it. But yeah, totally exposing himself. And I can't imagine you're not consciously aware that you forgot panties when you got dressed. Where were you? Did you come as a male and get dressed in the bathroom? Or did you get dressed at home and forgot panties at your home?
Well, nobody wants panty lines in a skirt like that, right?
I definitely want panty line. I'm not looking, but it's an atrocity, a crotchless atrocity.
No, that guy should be in jail, and everybody involved should be in jail. The parents, the organizers, the whoever's running the show there, they should all be in jail.
I'm not against this. Did you make your drink, Garrick? What's going on?
No, I made it. I'm good.
Softly
I am
quiet.
toast. Oh yeah,
Quieted him down.
because I'm drinking.
There we go.
Oh, there was another thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, did you guys see the SNL skit about
No.
Elizabeth Warren? No, of course not.
About what?
I didn't either, but I heard about it.
Heard
About Elizabeth Warren?
Apparently, they're ripping on her.
Oh,
Yeah.
is she not their candidate? Because they need to get their story straight.
Well, that's the thing. So they're making fun of her inability to explain how she's going to pay for universal health care.
Well, it's $94 billion. Yeah, she needs to come out about it.
They need to admit that the math just cannot work out.
No, they won't.
Not only that, how many jobs does that destroy in the health industry? That's what they never talk about. If the government is going to take over, that means everybody that works for a private insurer is out of a job.
Yeah, they'll just get brought into the new administration, though. Where it's still their job to keep you from getting health insurance. Or claiming your health insurance.
Yeah, they act like the government's just going to be this, benevolent, oh yeah, you get everything you want sort of thing. They're going to have to ration. There will be death squads. I mean, it's all of the arguments. We know what happens, and the UK has proved it.
Steven says the SNL skit with the Trump dog and Scarlett Johansson was hilarious. And Nephilim says, off topic, but what is your guys' opinion on windowed slides? Lightened for snappiness. Windowed slides, like on the Glock 34, the just that open frame on the top of the slide.
I have a factory cut one for my XDM, and
Windowed slides?
Yeah, I think he's talking about ported
I like
slide.
cuts for pistols.
Yeah. If
Well,
it's
like the frame around the barrel?
Yeah.
that's crowning, but like the yeah, I'm not against them. If they come from the factory that way, I wouldn't lighten them myself because I don't want to fuck with OEM. What about you, Garrett?
Like I said, I have one on my XDM and 45 ACP, and I think it makes a slight difference.
Positive or negative?
It's a positive.
I'd have to go play with them. I've never seen one, so I don't have an opinion.
Do they get gunked up?
Not in my experience, but I've never dropped it in the mud either. So
You think it'd just pick up holster wear and tear and fluff and whatever else?
I mean, not really, because all mine have slide serrations, and when I carried leather, they never really fucked with anything, and I'm a huge fan of Beretta, and Beretta's nothing but like half a lightened barrel slide. It's got the biggest slide opening on the block. And I'm a big proponent of Berettas. Well, the M9 series. As long as it's coming from the factory and it's not being done outside of the factory, then they have been tested. And if they've been cleared, I don't see what an issue would be with it. I might take a little bit more issue with it if it was a ported slide and barrel, because then you're talking about things getting into the actual barrel itself, which is a little bit more of a. I'm less of a fan of that, for obvious reasons. Like exploding reasons. And night blindness reasons, too. If you fire in the dark with a ported barrel, good luck getting your night vision back anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of, a couple days ago, Garrick, you posted that thing with the appendix reholstering, and the guy shot himself on the side.
Matt finally responded to that today.
Yeah. They make a end plate for your Glocks that when the trigger gets pulled, the end plate folds before it fires. So when you index your gun, since you can't index with your thumb on the gun anyways, you put it over the back of the base plate or the back plate, and it would tell you if something was entering your trigger guard. Yeah.
Or, don't carry Glocks.
Glocks are the best. And I wish Josh was here so I could mock him for him saying that he carried with an empty chamber. That shit's only cool for single action revolvers with hammers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's only because when you cock it.
Transom bar, right?
Yeah, that's like because when you cock it, it goes to a loaded chamber.
Exactly. And if you think you can't make them go off by simply schwacking them, I will prove you wrong.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it would get additional crowd in it, that's for sure, with the windowed slide.
Not if you maintain it.
Like you'd have to deliberately, well, not deliberately, you'd have to drop it in something, that's just, open water, it hits the bottom of the water and there's mud and shit in there. Which, I mean, even if you do that, all you do is just kind of rinse it out in the water real quick, just give it a little swish, and poof, you're good to go.
Well, I'm saying if I'm not having to constantly clean the around the actual sights or the serrations on the slide itself, which are much more aggressive, or the grip that has textured for grip. If I don't have to clean that thing, then I'm not worried about a slide hole that is smooth. That's been machined out and worked on. Well, that might just be me.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got? We got apparently everyone's going broke with the new Terminator. It is not making back its $185 million budget.
My buddies want to go see that this weekend. I'm not sure if I'm going to go or not.
Wait, what movie?
The new Terminator movie.
What? Dark.
The
Dark
chickening.
Thesis.
Yeah, it's Terminator the chickening.
Yeah. Excuse me. That's my cough. So how are you doing, Sean?
Still get the occasional cough, but not feeling nearly as terrible.
Yeah, that's these swollen eyeballs. That allergy went by a lot faster. But yeah, the 6 female Terminators fighting the 1 Mexican Terminator apparently aren't doing it this time around. So apparently the future is female. It's not working for them. Dark Fate, that's what it was called.
My buddy was trying to tell me that it's a reboot and like everything after like the other 3 Terminator movies after Terminator 2 don't count.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not.
There's been a lot of talk like people are sick of female-led action movies, and I can kind of understand a little bit of that, but at the same time, shut up, stupid. Like, I will never get sick of alien Sigourney Weaver kicking ass.
Right. No, it's not that they're female led. It's just that they're not good movies.
Yeah.
And
like,
I will say that if there is sexism involved, it's in the fact that people are more forgiving of a dumb movie that a guy is the lead of than they are if a woman is the lead of. Like, the guys have much more leeway to be terrible than the women do if they're the lead. If that makes sense.
I like Terminator 3.
Which one was that? Salvation?
No, the one with Claire Danes and who the fuck was John Connor?
Is that the one with the chick in the red?
Yeah, that was Christiana Loken.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
With the inflatable boobies.
Yeah.
It's worth it just for that scene.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like Alice from Mila Jovovich from Resident Evil. She's a kick-ass chick. But then they're like Xena Warrior Princess. I enjoy watching it because, skimpy clothes, girls pretty, yay. But at the same time, there are very few women on the planet I can't beat up in a fight. Fist to fist. Not really bragging, because I'm a foot taller than 90% of women on the planet. But there's literally like less than 10% of the women on the planet could beat me up. But to see like Angelina Jolie in Mr. and Mrs. Smith go toe to toe with the exact same trained agents is nonsense. Like, all right, Jason Bourne is a super soldier or whatever. But you wouldn't expect somebody like he barely wins his fights, and it's because of just his training and his willingness and his lack of whatever that he wins the fight. But then you have like I can't even think of an example where
Charlize Theron in Atomic Blonde just kicking all the ass.
Yeah. If you don't have like a superpower or like a heightened thing like Lucy in Lucy, then women and men don't really stand toe to toe. There's a reason that they're split, much like every other sport on the planet. But hell, there's no intramural dart league or pool league because they just don't have a fair comparison between them. That's why the women, even though it's a non-contact sport, aren't in the same basketball league or any other league like that. But when you place Sarah Connor, a female, against a T-800 fucking robot, and she's shooting and running and shooting and running, why the hell can't you make that about non-physically... it's not a comparison of physical strengths against each other. Hell yeah. Or a Ripley versus the alien, which again is not coming. They're not going toe to toe physically.
Right. It's a battle of wits, and
Yeah, thinking
You know,
outside the box.
yeah,
and-
it's a survival thing more than it is an action movie, which is why Alien is a better movie as far as being a thriller or horror movie or whatever you want to call it, whereas Aliens is the
An action
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she kicks a lot of ass in that too, but in order to go toe to toe with the alien, she straps herself into a robot.
Well, yeah, that's a good thing, too.
I actually so going back to the Xena comment, we have to admit that the Xena show, which was contemporary and spun off of Conan the Barbarian with Kevin Sorbo,
Yeah,
Xena-
Hercules or ass
or
face.
Hercules, whatever, but
Heracles.
Heracles, um, Xena was a better show.
Yeah. It was campier. Nick Stahl, that's who it was. I knew I'd get there eventually. Who played John Connor? Are you sure you're thinking of Christiana Loken, Steven?
He is probably shared space with these women, so yes, he's probably correct.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Steven versus her. Yeah, I'm like half a foot taller than you, Steven, right now.
Well, Steven's tiny.
Yeah, it's just a reminder. For the current time being, I'm approximately 6'4". 6'3". All right, okay, 6'2".
Yeah, Red Sonja that never took off, Steven.
Now, I'm not sure about Bridget Nielsen. I might not be taller than Bridget Nielsen. She was leggy as.
Damn, that's a big bitch.
That's a huge bitch.
That's a huge bitch.
Yeah, I don't. I bet she's over 6 foot.
Brigitte Nielsen? I thought she was 6'1".
Well, I don't know, but if that's over 6 foot, then she might beat me. And
Pretty sure she was in Playboy in the 80s. Pretty sure that it said 6'1".
I'm gonna have to look that up, sir. I'm not sure if I believe that statement. Just Googling now. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Turn off the mic.
Turn on the camera. Bridget Nielsen. Please be early 80s. Please be early 80s.
Yeah, she was big in the mid 80s.
Yeah, but the 90s were not kind to her.
No, they were not. Didn't she date Flavor Flav in the 90s?
Definitely in the 2000s. Oh, she was. She was on December 87. That was back when she was dating Stallone.
Yep. Which has got to be a mixed match from hell because he's tiny too.
Yeah.
He's only like 5'6" or 5'7", I think.
No, really?
Stallone is not a big man. I mean, he's huge, like muscularly, but like not a tall dude.
All right, let's see. I just 5'10".
So he's average height.
Yeah. Schwarzenegger 6'2", Dolph Lundgren 6'5", Brigitte 6'1", Carl Weathers is 6'2". 6 foot for Michael B. Jordan. 6 foot. Bruce Willis is 6 foot. Mel
Probably
Gibson's
on a good
10.
day.
We got for Jason Statham. Jason Statham's 5'10". Yeah, so the average. Wonder, I don't know why this one popped in my head, but Scott Eastwood.
Scott Eastwood, is that Clint's kid?
Yeah, I'm just wondering how tall he is.
He's got to be like 6'2", 6'3", I would imagine.
I think 6'2", probably. Let's see.
Who's his mom? Who's his mom?
I'll find it out in a second. Scott Eastwood is 5'11". Ouch. Allison. No, wait, that's the siblings. Is Allison and Francesca Morgan. Jacqueline Reeves.
Jacqueline Reeves. I don't know who that is.
Oh, she's just cute. She was a flight attendant. Yeah, she's just cute.
Well, I mean, when you're, early 1970s Clint Eastwood, you get whatever you want, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, she was cuter. Okay. Way to go, Jacqueline Reeves, being cute. Keep those highlights, girl. Yeah, well, she's 67 now, so that's
Take it with a grain of salt.
That's some years younger than Clint Eastwood.
Well, he's what? 89? Is he 90 yet?
Well, first off, you have to remember Scott is 33, so Clint Eastwood is 89 years old.
That's right, he was 89.
So he was 56 when he had Scott. Way to go, Clint. By the way, Clint Eastwood is 6'4". And they used to shit all over him in the Dean Martin roasts for being an up-and-comer.
Yeah, and he outlasted all of them.
Yeah, well, they're all dead.
That's what I mean. He outlasted them. He's still around. They aren't.
Francesca Eastwood is a very unique beauty. What's she do?
I put that in Gun Club.
I can't. I'm on my phone. You have to look it up on your own.
Damn it.
She's 5'5", so meh. But who's Frances Fisher? Really? All right, so Clint Eastwood has a thing for ugly women. Now, Frances Fisher is not what I would. She's the whore in Unforgiven, the old whore in Unforgiven. So really not. I mean, she's 67 too, so he's got a thing for girls 35 years younger. But Francesca Eastwood with her dark, she's got some really light blue eyes.
35 years younger than him, huh?
And they're pretty far apart, so
that'd be like me dating an 11-year-old. That's kind of gross.
Not the way I'm doing it. Catherine Eastwood does not look good. Okay, in some pictures she looks good. They've got some pretty unique eyeballs on these kids.
Squinty?
Very pale. Like, they are all very light eye colored.
Oh, I thought you were going to say beady.
No. They're beautiful, but good freaking Lord.
Hey, can we talk about one more thing real quick? I had a thought that it popped in my head the other day. Tell me if I'm off the mark or not. The way I look at foreign policy for the U.S., the way it should be, ideally, is like, have you ever, you guys have watched Westerns, right?
I'm watching one right now.
Anyway, old gunslingers didn't die realistically the way they depict in the movies. You know, they were always shot in the back, and Bill Hickok and so on and so forth. That's kind of the way I see the U.S. If we turn our backs on our enemies, we get shot in the back. We get 9/11s and other attacks. So I think the best way to handle foreign policy is put your back against the wall and head on a swivel. So not necessarily actively fighting in foreign wars all the time, but just, you know, keeping info on the ground.
I'm for bringing back the Monroe Doctrine. Get the hell out of everything in the other hemisphere and stay in our own. We could fix most of South and Central America, make it
Well, that's what I'm
much.
saying. Not
Huh?
fix anything per se, but just be aware of what's going on and take precautionary measures to prevent.
I say we invade Canada, then preemptively stop them.
I don't think they're a problem though.
Not yet.
I'm pretty sure all of Maine could take over all of Canada.
Nah, them French swampy bastards are not to be trusted.
Yeah, but they don't have guns and we do. That's why I said all of the people of Maine could take over all of Canada, no problem.
You know, Hickok died playing cards.
I thought he was shot. No, he was shot in the street in the back, wasn't he?
No, well, he shot in the back, but he was shot in the back play. The dead man's hand comes from that game.
Oh,
He would always come to a table and he would sit with his back to the wall so he could see the door. He came late. It was the only chair available was away from the door, and he got shot in the back. But that's where aces and eights in black becoming the dead man's hand. That's where that originates.
Yeah.
mm.
It's not even a
You're
particularly
thinking of-
good hand. It's
You're thinking of Billy the Kid. He was shot in the back by oh damn it, Bat Masterson.
Was he shot in the back by Ben Masterson? I thought he was shot in the gut coming through the door because he was ambushed.
All right, give me a second. Billy the Kid. Was it Bat Masterson?
I'm pretty sure it was Bat Masterson that got Billy the Kid.
Billy the Kid. What the fuck is Billy the Puppet?
No,
All right.
Billy.
Mr. Bill. By the way, Billy the Kid, 5'7".
Yeah, short little guy. Ugly as fuck, too.
Small hands, big wrists. I watched, I think that was on Young Guns or something.
I'll make you famous.
Billy the Kid. Someone say something while I look this up.
Pat Garrett.
Pat Garrett, damn it, that's right. Played by
Thank you, poet.
yeah, that was played by what was he? The guy from CSI. That's
Ted Danson.
the other CSI. Grissom.
Oh, the one from Miami?
No,
CSI Miami.
no, the
Oh,
other
Grissom.
the original CSI, Grissom.
Oh, Grissom? Okay.
Yeah.
I
But
didn't know
he
played in
played.
anything else.
He did. Well, he was in a couple movies, and one he was Bat Masterson, one of the Tombstones, and the other he was Pat Garrett. But there is a rumor that rumor says survival. Bonnie was not killed, and that Garrett staged the incident and the death out of friendship, so Billy the Kid, could evade the law. And during the next 50 years, people claim to be Billy the Kid. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Yeah, they're not really giving us the story. I'm gonna have to Google that somewhere else. Stupid. All right, look up better Pat Garrett. Oh, he died of a gunshot wound too. Whose computer's fucking dying? What the shit's going on here?
That's my phone.
Oh. Pat's son signed a 5-year lease for a ranch. I've been put up by Bill Cox. Buyer. Adams Cole. Secretary. Who killed Pat Garrett? Despite his confession, subsequent trial, few historians are convinced that Brazel killed Garrett. 4 other suspects have been proposed. Fucking guy was shot. All right, that's the important part. Portrays in film. Billy Kid Outlaw, a cast of Trail. I Shot Billy the Kid. Parsons and the Outlaw. The Time Tunnel. Chisholm. Yeah, William Peterson played him in Young Guns too. William Peterson's is the guy from CSI. CSI. Canada is going to be a problem with its immigrants spilling into the U.S. in 20 years or less. Yeah, because they're not going to want to stay up in Canada because
Canada.
Canada, yeah.
Unless they like hockey.
Wasn't that last week's hoax, hey? Like, you just don't want me to teach hockey because I'm Muslim. Yeah, that's it. How about I don't want you to teach hockey because you're not Russian? Like, we have a huge problem with the Russians, and we still want them teaching our kids hockey.
Well, actually, I'd rather have Canadians teaching hockey. But like
They like
actual,
Russians.
like native Canadians, eh?
Yeah, as long as you're not from Saskatchewan, because I have seen grown-ups too.
I don't think I've seen the second one. Which one is the second one?
It was the second one was the one where they I don't know what the first one was. I just remember the second one. They went on vacation all together in a group, and
Well, that was what the first one was.
yeah, pretty
They
sure
went up,
it's
they went up to like a cabin on the lake or something in the first one.
Which one had that werewolf from Twilight in it?
I have no idea.
Was Shaq in the first one?
No.
No, well then Shaq was the second one. Oh, there's this one scene that's so damn funny with Kevin James. He opens up a raft and it explodes and sends him across the toy aisle. It's fucking hilarious. But
Wait, is that when he was a mall cop?
no, that's a completely different movie. It's literally named Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Which is a better movie than it has any business being. Kind of like Hot Tub Time Machine. Hot Tub Time Machine was a much better movie than it had any business ever being. Same
I'm
with
guessing
Bigelow,
the
for that
first one had the Wolf Kid, because I'm not seeing him in the cast of characters for the second movie.
Maybe he was. I don't pay attention.
Yeah. Really, all Adam Sandler movies are anymore is movies at vacation spots that he brings and gets his friend to have paychecks for.
Yep. Not a bad gig if you can pull it off. Kind of want to be Adam Sandler's friend.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing this time, Adam? I don't know. Something about making out with Selma Hayek in Hawaii. Sounds like a plan. What's this movie, Adam? I'm going to be making out with Drew Barrymore 50 times in Hawaii. We're going to Costa Rica to film with somebody somewhere and make out in Hawaii. Selma Hayek is cute though. She's really cute
She's
in that
like
movie.
60. Did you know that?
No, did not.
Yeah,
she's
66.
she's still smoking hot.
Hmm.
Yeah, she was born in 66, so, math.
Right.
2019 minus
She's
1966,
50. She's
53.
50 something. Yeah,
53. Still looking good for 53.
smoking hot.
I don't know how old Madonna is, but stop it.
She's 110. Looks
Another
like
Michigan girl.
a caricature of Carol Channing.
There's a new time machine movie coming out, Nephilim. I believe it's called Wayne's World 3.
I'd watch it.
I will be watching it. Big fan of William S. Preston Esquire. Or Ted Theodore Logan.
Wild Stallions. Poor
Apparently,
Rufus is dead.
he's dead. Go back in time, save him. That's gonna suck. I wonder who they're gonna get to play Rufus. Because apparently the plot is they still haven't reached. They haven't made their song yet. That won them all the acclaim. Don't peak too early. Talking to Bill because Ted's doing pretty good. Do you guys remember when it was creepy that Catherine Zeta-Jones married Michael Douglas? Because they've been together for like 2 decades now.
Are they still married?
Yeah.
Good for them. Did you know that Michael Douglas's dad is still kicking around?
Is he?
Kirk Douglas still kicking around. He's
They married
108.
19 years. They married 19 years. I loved him in what was the movie? Greed.
Hot Shots Part 2.
I don't remember Kirk Douglas in Hot Shots Part.
No, that was
You're-
Lloyd Bridges.
I was gonna say you're thinking Lloyd Bridges. No, he was in Greed with Michael J. Fox. Yeah, Kirk Douglas was he went Navy during World War II. $103 old next month.
Yep.
There's few actors out there who can talk about seeing Betty White get their start. He's one of them. Oh, surprise, surprise. Michael Douglas is a Democrat. Is Michael Douglas rich? Not really. 300 million.
Considering all that he's done, yeah, he could definitely be worth more, but he isn't.
I'd be surprised if like Michael Pena was rich.
I want to know if Martin Sheen's brother is doing all right.
Joe?
Joe Sheen, yeah, or Joe Estevez.
Joe Joe Estes. I love Joe Estes. He's literally in like all the awful movies I love. Thank you, Joe Estes. Thank you, Frank Stallone. I'll start saving up now for a PS5. I'll get it in a couple of years.
Is there a hockey game on?
No need to shout.
Well, she's in the other room.
Yeah, you don't know there's no reason to shout.
Oh, did you guys see Pam Anderson's in hot water?
I didn't get to see the pictures, but I heard she was in trouble for portraying Pocahontas.
Maybe. She was wearing a chieftain's headdress by the looks of it.
Lame.
Yeah, it was low effort. She was mostly naked for the picture too, so not a whole lot went into the costume.
I'm gonna have to look this up. This is
This is for research purposes.
for research purposes. Pam Anderson costume.
Did she really go as Pocahontas?
Well, she wore the. No, I don't need the. I just need the images. I don't need the. See, I'm not getting the right thing because this is the same picture they showed me, and that's
Here
not
or
a
there?
fucking.
There.
Okay, good. What period?
Second.
Cool.
Sent you a message.
I'm sure I can find it for you again.
Oh, here's the picture. There is nothing wrong with that picture. Oh, okay. In context, there's like a little bit wrong with that picture. It says Happy Halloween. Other than that, it's just a girl wearing a chieftain's headdress. And it looks really good. And she looks really good, so that's nice. And those are old pictures.
Because I mean, she's mostly plastic at this point.
Well, okay, in fairness to her, this was 20 years ago when she was still mostly plastic. But still 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's not
So
a
these
new
are 20-year-old pictures that they're bringing up now.
But she posted it. It's saying Happy Halloween on like October or November 2nd.
Oh well, yeah.
But one of them, she is covered in white and holding a headdress. So shame on you for that. But, 20 years ago, you didn't have the same autonomy you do today. Like, today, you can grab your camera, put on whatever you want, take a picture, and post it to Twitter. Because this is a tweet we're talking about. This isn't 20 years ago when a professional photographer took and developed the photo and sent it into a magazine. Or a headshot or whatever it was. It's a completely different time. She had sex with Julia Assange. Yuck.
Oh,
I'm not sure if you're saying nice ass shot of her or nice ass shot of her. Punctuation, Steven.
Oh, that looks good. You're right. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. No fault there. You go, girl. I'm about done with this. Anybody else got anything?
I don't think so. It was really kind of a lame week.
It's
Although
been like
we're, what, 363 days now from the next election?
No. No, we're over 365. It's not Tuesday yet.
So we have a full year.
Yeah, first Tuesday of the new year. So we're Lily's promising to waddle on next week. We'll see about that, Missy.
Happy to have her. And are you going to be actually running it next week?
No, I am working the next 6 days. So while I will have all the pieces, I will have no time to learn how to plug them into each other.
Okay.
Plus, there's going to be some significant downloading involved.
Alrighty then. So I guess one of the nationals threw on a MAGA hat when they were at the White House.
Is that what that was?
And Trump hugged him. Yep.
All right, because I saw the donning of the hat, and I was like, okay, and then what was it? A Mexican guy?
Definitely some sort of ethnicity. Can't tell if he's Japanese or Hispanic.
Well, yeah,
And it's baseball, so it could be either or.
Mm-hmm. I remember when all the stars were Dominican.
Speaking of which, was it Poppy that got shot? Poppy got shot. I think I remember something.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. Well, he was still on Baseball Tonight during the series, so he must have recovered just fine. Oh, here's the best Epstein one ever. Go ahead and save image. Because this is going to go on the stream, we're going to go ahead and switch this up. Where is it?
I'm in the Epstein cover-up, and people are plugging in Donald Trump to make it seem like they're best friends. Like, I got more pictures of Epstein and Bill Clinton together. Go fuck yourself. Steven's got a porn guy.
Here we go. So look at the live stream because this is the best Epstein one ever.
I do like the ones with the socks. That took some effort.
So is it going to be popping up any second now?
Well, 90 seconds because it takes forever.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, you weren't wrong.
It's messed up. I do like
What?
it.
Did I miss it?
No, it's still up. You actually have to
I'm
look
not
at the live
Son
stream.
of a bitch.
Yeah, you gotta look at the live stream.
Oh, I seen this one. Yeah, it's a good one.
It's beginning to look a lot like.
Epstein didn't kill himself. All right, post the links.
All right,
We can
go ahead and tell me when to hit the button.
Well, anytime now. We're good.
Okay, button hit.
Hit the button.
Button hit.